That route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Again, it's Cook. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. Cousins trying to get his guys up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Cousins. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up fourth. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On play action, they'll throw. Flushed, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at the 23. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts, one of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. A first down throw for Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And
Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They go play action here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. They'll throw now on the final play. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And he will be...
everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. This is Madden 18 on EA Sports. Coming into today's game, we've got two of the most dangerous offenses in the NFL going head-to-head. It's the Texans going...
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the New York Giants. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. This is Lamar Miller. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now? Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Let's go!
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's got Miller. 15 yards. The Texans pick up the first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On second down, here's Watson. Well, this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Watson. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Giants will get it now at the 20. Off the play fake. Floyd escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man. Complete. And he'll be down deep in Houston territory. It's a big-time play there for the G-Man. 64 yards. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, You're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. Looking to throw on second down. Floyd, and he's got his man. Beckham, touchdown Giants. Odell Beckham, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Again, it's Miller. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him. And some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Going deep for Hopkins. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. The catch made by Miller. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back around the 37. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go.
the gun, Watson. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and it's 3rd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
To throw on 3rd down. Floyd, it's caught by OBJ. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a 1st down for him, too.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Looking to throw. Floyd. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Zach Cunningham coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. On 1st and 10. Floyd caught left side. It's Beckham. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Rashid Hagman breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this 1st half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner.
Here we go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Floyd trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Going up top for Miller. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Landon Collins.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. To throw on 2nd down. Floyd buying time to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can
Final score now from that game at Lambeau.
The Giants are now on the clock. So they've just picked up Owens. What's the latest on him, Adam?
Well, there isn't much to say other than this kid was born to run. He's the spitting image of his father, a nationally ranked sprinter in several major events and highly recruited by every major college. However, unlike his dad, he chose to pursue a career in football, and so far that decision is paying off. He may not be gold medal fast, but he has the speed and quickness to cause fits for the opposing team. He's the type of player you like to see out in the open field where he can make moves a lot of other players can't. The coaches are going to love having his speed at their disposal.
The Broncos are now on the clock. Now that the Broncos have made their pick, let's go to Adam Schefter for more.
He was one of the most prolific passers in all of college football last season. He was so productive, in fact, that after averaging almost 4 scores a game, he set a new school record for the most passing touchdowns in a season. And if you look back at those throws that he made, you'll see his record wasn't the result of the scheme, but rather a quarterback that's lethal once he gets in the red zone. There may be some question as to whether he can throw it downfield well enough to be successful in the NFL, but I think this team will love him for his decision-making and intermediate accuracy.
Adam, what can you tell us about that last pick?
He looked like a man among boys at the All-Star game. Facing off against one of the better blockers in the draft, he was able to get pressure and was in the quarterback's face all day. And at least twice, he knocked the offensive lineman on his backside, finishing the play with a sack. Matt Miller came away impressed by more than just his aggressive play style. A lot of his pressures came from pure effort and proper use of his hands to shed the blocker. He was the difference maker in the All-Star game, and the team noticed.
The Dolphins are now on the clock. All right, now that the pick's in, let's go to Adam. Adam, what can you tell us about this guy?
I'll tell you, everyone was talking about him after the combine, and not exactly for the best of reasons. He was called out almost unanimously as one of the worst interviews at Indy. I spoke with a few of the scouts who sat down with him, and the common remarks I heard was that he was slow to respond, had very little to say, and definitely had his periods of awkward silence. Fortunately for him, how he plays is looked at more than how he talks. I think the team found a good player, even if he is lacking a little charisma.
The Dolphins are now on the clock. Let's go to Adam now, who has more on the Bears' last pick.
You can't talk about this running back without mentioning the spirit of beast mode, one of the greatest runs in college football. In just one run, he exemplified everything a scout wants to see in his halfback. He took the handoff, waited patiently for his blocks, and shot through the opening. Once in the open field, he did everything from juke a defender to lowering his shoulder and powering into the end zone. The stadium erupted when he scored, causing earthquake-like tremors in the area. Remind you of anyone? We'll see if he can live up to the beast mode comparisons for this team.
Ooh.